Who took my car? My car is gone. Who did this? No, no, this can't be happening. Please, someone help. Why me? I can't believe this. My car, it's really gone.
I went outside to see an empty parking lot. My first car is gone. I called my parents in a panic. Mom laughed. Oh, relax, we gave it to your sister. She needs it more. My sister has crashed 3 cars in years. So I dialed 911.00. Well, let's go. My name is Callista, and I was 28 years old when I finally understood that some families take from you until there's nothing left. I worked as a programmer in Brookhaven, made decent money, and had spent the last 6 years clawing my way out of debt. I had parents who I thought loved me and a younger sister named Marlette, who was 3 years younger than me. From the time we were kids, my parents had roles picked out for us. I was the strong and independent one who could handle anything. Marlette was fragile and sensitive, someone who needed constant protection from life's difficulties. That meant I got to deal with problems on my own while Marlette got all the help and support. When I was 15, I wanted a laptop for school. I worked after school at a grocery store, saved every dollar for months, and finally bought a used one with a noisy fan that overheated if you used it too long. I was proud of that laptop. I had earned it myself. The morning after I brought it home, I walked into the kitchen and saw Mom handing Marlette a brand new Mapletech Breeze book. Not used, not refurbished. Brand new in the box with a glowing silver leaf logo on it. For your school project, Mom said, smiling at her. Marlette was 12. Her school project was a poster about the solar system. I stood there with my second-hand laptop that sounded like a lawnmower, and nobody said a word about the difference. When Marlette was 13, she borrowed my bike. She said she needed it for an hour to ride to a friend's house. I said yes because that's what you do for family, right? She brought it back 2 days later. It had been lying in the rain behind her friend's house. The chain was rusted, the seat was torn, and the handlebars were bent. Marlette didn't mean to leave it there, Dad said when I complained. Don't be dramatic. Just fix the bike. She took my things all the time after that. Clothes, books, makeup, whatever she wanted. She would return them damaged or not at all. And every time I got upset, my parents told me to stop overreacting. Marlette didn't mean any harm. She was just borrowing. You need to be more understanding. I went to college on a partial scholarship. The rest I covered with student loans that felt like a weight I would carry forever. I lived at home to save money, but my parents charged me $540 a month in rent. Marlette lived there for free. In college I worked 2 jobs, waitressing on weekends, tutoring during the week. I saved every cent I could, putting cash into a cedar jewelry box I kept on a shelf in my room. It wasn't a bank account because I didn't want my parents to know how much I had saved. I was paranoid about it. And looking back, I should have trusted that instinct. After 3 years, I had saved $4,460. It was going to be my emergency fund, my cushion, the thing that would let me move out and start my own life. One day I came home from class and the box felt light. Opened it. Me. I ran into the living room with the empty box in my hands, shaking. My parents were there. Marlette too. She was 17. Where's my money? All of it is gone. Mom looked at me calmly. We used it to pay for Marlette's ACT prep classes. She needs them for college applications. That was my money. I saved that for 3 years. Dad frowned at me. Don't be dramatic, Callista. Family helps family. You stole from me. We didn't steal. We borrowed. You'll understand when you're older that families share resources. I never agreed to this. You went into my room and took my money without asking. Mom sighed like I was being difficult. Marlette needed help. You're strong enough to handle this setback. She isn't. I moved out 3 months after I graduated, got a tiny apartment, started paying my student loans, and cut my contact with my family down to holidays and occasional phone calls. I worked hard, spent carefully, and put every extra dollar toward those loans. By the time I was 28, I had finally paid them off. All of them, every single cent. And with my first loan-free paycheck, I put a down payment on a car. A brand new silver 2024 Hawkline Sarah. It wasn't fancy, but it was mine. The first new thing I had ever owned. Every monthly payment felt like a small victory. Proof that I could do things on my own, that I didn't need anyone's help. I drove to my parents' house the day after I bought it, wanting to share the moment. They congratulated me, said all the right things, but I saw something in their eyes. Displeasure. Like my success somehow made Marlette look worse by comparison. I ignored it. Told myself I was being paranoid. They were my parents. They wanted good things for me. One morning a few weeks later, I walked out of my apartment building to go to work. My parking spot was empty. I stared at the empty space, confused. I walked around the lot, thinking maybe I had parked somewhere else and forgotten. But no, it was gone. Panic set in. I called the towing company, the apartment management, anyone I could think of. Nobody had towed it. Nobody had seen anything. Called my parents. Mom answered on the second ring, voice cheerful. Callista, good morning, sweetie. Mom, my car is gone. Someone stole it. I need to call the police, but I wanted to tell you first in case. Oh, we have your car. Froze. What? Your father and I picked it up this morning. We used your spare key. My spare key. The one I kept in my purse. Then I remembered Mom had come over last night. Unexpected visit. Brought a pie from the bakery down the street. I thought it was strange, her just showing up like that. Now I knew why. You took my keys out of my purse. Well, yes. We needed them to get the car. You stole my car. She laughed. We didn't steal, Callista. Don't be dramatic. We gave it to Marlette. She got a new job and she can't take the bus anymore. She needs it more than you do. That's my car. I'm making payments on it. You can manage without a car for a few weeks. You're resourceful. Marlette really needs this right now. Dad's voice came through another phone. He must have picked up the other extension. The car's staying in the family. Callista, you're overreacting. It's not theft. You already stole money from me once, I said, my voice shaking. In college. You took my savings to pay for her ACT classes. Now you're stealing my car. Sighed. That same tired sigh she always used when she thought I was being unreasonable. Don't start with that again, Callista. Marlette is having a hard time right now. She needs support. I remembered then Marlette's car history. Her first car crashed when she ran a red light. Her second crashed when she veered into a mailbox while texting. Her third totaled when she drove home drunk from a party. 3 cars, 3 crashes. And now my car, the one I had spent 6 years paying student loans to afford, was being handed to her like a spare pair of shoes. Marlette will crash it, I said. Just like she crashed every other car. You're being selfish, Callista. Mom's voice went cold. Your sister needs help, and all you can think about is yourself. Dad cut in. Give her a few weeks. She'll bring the car back when she's settled into her new job. No, she won't. She never returns anything she takes from me. Never. I hung up and immediately dialed 911. 20 minutes later, a police officer arrived at my apartment complex. Officer Serrano, according to her badge. She was professional, calm, and she listened to everything I said without interrupting. I handed her all my documents. Registration in my name, insurance in my name, loan payments coming from my bank account. Everything proved the car belonged to me. Did you give anyone permission to take your car? She asked. No, nobody. My mother stole my spare key from my purse last night and gave it to my sister. Officer Serrano took photos of the empty parking space. She checked the security camera footage from the parking lot. The video showed Marlette walking up to my car at 6 o'clock in the morning, unlocking it with a key and driving away. I'm putting out an alert for the vehicle, Serrano said. Theft within a family is still theft. The law doesn't make exceptions for relatives. After she left, I sat on the curb in the parking lot, staring at the empty asphalt where my car should have been. Calling the police on your own family felt wrong. It twisted something inside me, made me feel guilty and angry at the same time. But then I thought about Marlette driving my car, probably laughing, telling people it was hers, acting like she had earned it when she had never earned anything in her life. My phone buzzed. Text from Mom. You called the police on your own sister. What is wrong with you? Then Dad. Withdraw the report immediately. You're tearing this family apart over a car. Then Marlette, finally. I can't believe you did this. I need this car for work. You're ruining my life. Not once did she ask if I was okay. Not once did she apologize for taking it. Just accusations and demands. I didn't respond to any of them. The next morning, Officer Serrano called. We found your car. Your sister was pulled over for speeding near Pinecrest Junction. The vehicle has been impounded. She's being questioned at the station now. I drove a rental car to the impound lot that evening. When I saw my car, my stomach dropped. Fast food wrappers everywhere. On the seats, on the floor, stuffed into the cup holders. Cosmetics smeared on the passenger door. Foundation and lipstick ground into the fabric. An energy drink spilled across the center console, sticky and dried. Dirt caked into the floor mats. The gas tank was nearly empty. My emergency blanket was crumpled in the back seat like trash. Marlette had owned the car for 8 hours. 8 hours, and she had destroyed it. Officer Serrano walked over. People don't take care of things they didn't earn. We see it all the time. I spent 2 hours cleaning the car before I could drive it home. My hands shook the whole time. A week later, I sat on a hard wooden bench outside a courtroom. My parents sat across from me, whispering to each other and shooting angry looks in my direction. Marlette sat between them, staring at the floor. Her leg bounced constantly. She wouldn't look at me. When the judge called the case, Marlette was asked to read a statement. Her hands trembled as she unfolded the paper. I acknowledged that I took my sister's car without her permission. I knew the car did not belong to me. I took it anyway, assuming my sister would forgive me because she always has before. I was wrong. I'm guilty and I apologize. The judge looked at her for a long moment, then read the sentence. 6 months probation. 1 year suspension of her driver's license. Reimbursement for towing and impound fees. Gasp. Dad's jaw tightened. They both immediately moved to Marlette, hugging her, whispering comfort, protecting her from consequences. Even as those consequences were finally being handed down, they never once looked at me. When the courtroom emptied, I stood still and let them walk past. Marlette came within inches of me. Her face was red, eyes puffy from crying. She hesitated like she wanted to say something, but Mom's hand grabbed her arm and pulled her forward. I heard Mom whisper to her as they walked away. Don't apologize to her. This isn't your fault. The courtroom door closed behind them. Something inside me went quiet. The anger, the hurt, the guilt, all of it settled into a calm certainty. I had done the right thing. Outside, I got into my car, ran my fingers over the steering wheel. The car was mine again. But more than that, my life was mine. My boundaries were mine. My choices were mine. Nobody was going to take from me anymore. In the weeks that followed, the phone calls from relatives stopped. The guilt messages stopped. The pressure to forgive and forget just faded away. I moved to a new apartment on the west side of Brookhaven. Didn't tell my family the address, changed my phone number, and only gave it to people who actually respected me. My days found a rhythm. Quiet mornings, long walks, evenings, and silence that didn't demand anything from me. For the first time in my life, I felt free. The first few months in my new apartment were strange. I kept waiting for something bad to happen, for someone to demand something from me, for the guilt to come crashing back. But it never did. I woke up when I wanted, ate what I wanted, came home to silence that belonged to me. No one borrowed my things without asking. No one told me I was being selfish for having boundaries. No one took from me. Felt like I could finally breathe. Work became easier too. Without the constant background stress of family drama, I could focus completely on my projects. My manager noticed, gave me bigger assignments, more responsibility. I was good at my job when I wasn't spending half my energy dealing with my family's chaos. I made friends at work. Real friends who invited me to things and actually showed up when they said they would, who borrowed money and paid it back, who asked before taking. Normal things that should have always been normal but never had been. Sometimes I thought about my parents, wondered if they understood what they had done. Wondered if they missed me or if they were just angry that I had stopped being their solution to Marlette's problems. I didn't reach out, didn't call, didn't send cards on holidays. I had given them my entire childhood and most of my 20s. That was enough. My new apartment had a small balcony that overlooked a park. I started sitting out there in the evenings with coffee, watching people walk their dogs, kids playing on the swings. Normal life happening around me, and I was part of it now. Not separate, not the responsible one, managing everyone else's messes. Just a person living her life. One Saturday morning, about 8 months after the court hearing, I was at a coffee shop near my apartment when I ran into someone from my old neighborhood. Rowena, a woman who had lived a few houses down from my parents. Callista. Oh my God, I haven't seen you in forever. She hugged me before I could respond. How have you been? Your mom said you moved, but she didn't know where. I'm good. Really good, actually. Rowena's smile faltered a little. I heard about what happened with Marlette and the car. That must have been awful. It was necessary. Still taking your own sister to court. She trailed off, clearly fishing for me to feel guilty. She stole my car. I reported a crime. That's how it works. But family is family, right? I'm sure if you just talk to them. I'm not interested in talking to them. Rowena looked uncomfortable. Your mom is really upset. She tells everyone how much she misses you. I took a sip of my coffee. If she missed me, she wouldn't have chosen Marlette over me my entire life. She wouldn't have stolen my college savings. She wouldn't have taken my car keys and given my car to my sister without asking. I didn't know about all that. Most people don't. They just see my mom crying about how her daughter won't speak to her. They don't see the 30 years of taking that came before that. Rowena nodded slowly. I'm sorry. That sounds really hard. It was. But it's better now. We talked for a few more minutes, then she left. I sat there finishing my coffee, thinking about what she had said. My mom was telling people she missed me. Playing the victim. Painting herself as the hurt parent instead of the one who had enabled theft. It didn't surprise me, but it also didn't bother me as much as I thought it would. Let her tell her version. I knew the truth. The people who mattered knew the truth. That was enough. A year after the court hearing, I came home from work to find an envelope in my mailbox. No return address, but I recognized the handwriting immediately. Marlette's. I stood in the lobby of my building holding that envelope for a long time. Part of me wanted to throw it away without reading it. Part of me was curious what she could possibly have to say after everything. Opened it. The letter was short, 1 page, written in Marlette's looping handwriting that I remembered from birthday cards and school projects. Callista. I'm not writing to make excuses or ask for forgiveness. I'm in therapy now, learning about boundaries and responsibility, learning to live without taking from other people. It's hard. I didn't realize how much of my life was built on taking until I couldn't do it anymore. I know I hurt you. Not just with the car but with everything before that. The bike, your clothes, your money, all of it. I took and never thought about what it cost you. I'm trying to be better now. I don't know if I'll ever actually be better, but I'm trying. Sorry. I know that doesn't fix anything. I just wanted you to know that I understand now what I did. Even if you never forgive me, you deserve to know that I finally get it. Marlette. I read it twice. Then I folded it carefully and put it in my desk drawer. I didn't respond. Maybe that makes me cold. Maybe I should have written back, acknowledged the apology, given her credit for going to therapy. But I didn't owe her that. I didn't owe her anything. She had spent 25 years taking from me. An apology, even a genuine one, didn't erase that. Didn't make up for all the things she took and never returned. Didn't give me back the childhood where I was the protected one instead of the strong one. I believe she was trying to be better. I hope she succeeded for her own sake. But that didn't mean I needed to be part of her life while she figured it out. Some people think forgiveness is mandatory, that you have to forgive family no matter what they do because blood is thicker than water. But I learned that forgiveness is a choice, not an obligation. And I chose not to forgive. Not because I was angry but because I was done. Done giving. Done sacrificing. Done being the strong one who could handle anything. I had spent my whole life being what my family needed me to be. Now I was just being myself. And that was enough. The letter stayed in my desk drawer. I saw it sometimes when I was looking for something else. It didn't make me sad or angry anymore. It was just a piece of paper, a record of something that happened. Nothing more. I went to work, came home, sat on my balcony, lived my quiet, peaceful life. And I never once regretted walking away from the people who had spent 30 years taking from me. 2 years after the court hearing, I got a promotion at work. Senior programmer with a team of 3 people reporting to me. Better pay, better benefits, and the kind of respect I had worked my whole life to earn. I celebrated by taking myself out to dinner at a nice restaurant downtown. Sat at the bar, ordered the expensive wine, ate slowly, and enjoyed every bite. No one was there to take half my food off my plate. No one was there to borrow money they'd never pay back. Just me celebrating my own success. The bartender asked if I was waiting for someone. Nope. Just me tonight, celebrating something. Promotion. Maybe that makes me cold. Maybe I should have written back, and poured me another glass on the house. Congratulations. You look happy. I was happy. Genuinely happy in a way I hadn't been in years. Maybe ever. My car was completely paid off now. No more monthly payments. No more stress about making the deadline. I owned it free and clear. Every time I got in it, I felt that small surge of pride. This was mine. I had earned it. I had protected it. The interior still showed some faint stains from Marlette's 8 hours of destruction, but I had gotten most of it cleaned. The rest I kept as a reminder that I had stood up for myself, that I had drawn a line and enforced it. I made new traditions for myself. Sunday mornings at the farmer's market. Thursday evenings at a book club I joined. Monthly hiking trips with coworkers along the Greenbelt trails. A life built on things I actually wanted to do. Not obligations to people who didn't appreciate me. Sometimes people asked about my family. Co-workers making small talk, new friends getting to know me. Do you see your parents much? No, we're not in contact. Oh, sorry. That must be hard. It's actually better this way. Most people didn't push after that. The ones who did got a polite but firm explanation that some relationships are healthier when they end. Usually they backed off then, uncomfortable with the idea that family ties could be voluntarily severed. But I was comfortable with it. More than comfortable. It was the best decision I had ever made. 3 years after I changed my number, my phone rang with a call from an unknown number. I almost didn't answer, but something made me pick up. Hello. Silence for a moment, then a familiar voice. Callista. It's Dad. My stomach tightened. How did you get this number? Your cousin Ellen. She thought we should be able to reach you in case of emergency. I made a mental note to have a conversation with Ellen about boundaries. What do you want? Your mother isn't doing well. She's been depressed. The doctor says she needs family support. She has Marlette. Marlette is trying, but your mother misses you. She wants to see you. No. Callista, she's your mother. You can't just abandon her. The irony of that statement was almost funny. They had abandoned me emotionally my entire childhood, but somehow I was the one abandoning them by refusing contact. She abandoned me first. Every time she chose Marlette over me. Every time she took my things and gave them to my sister. Every time she told me to stop being dramatic when I was hurt. She abandoned me for 30 years. We did our best. We were trying to help both of you. No, you weren't. You were helping Marlette. I was just expected to deal with everything on my own because I was strong and independent. Well, I'm still strong and independent. And I'm using that strength to stay away from people who hurt me. You're being selfish. I'm being healthy. There's a difference. I hung up, blocked the number, called Ellen, and asked her firmly never to give out my contact information again. She apologized, said she thought she was helping. I explained that helping would have been respecting my choices. After that call, I felt shaky for a few hours. Old guilt trying to creep back in. Old patterns trying to reassert themselves. But I sat with it, let it pass, and by evening I was fine again. They didn't get to reclaim me just because they finally needed something from me. I wasn't a resource. I wasn't a backup plan. I wasn't the strong one who would fix everyone's problems. I was just a person living my life. And that life didn't include them. 4 years after everything happened, I was offered a job in Summit Ridge, near Denver. Better position, significant pay increase, new challenges. I accepted without hesitation. Packing up my apartment, I found Marlette's letter in my desk drawer. I looked at it for a long moment, then I threw it away. I didn't need to keep it anymore. Didn't need the reminder of what she had done or what she had apologized for. I was moving forward, literally and figuratively. Denver was cold in winter and beautiful in summer. I bought a small house on the west side with a view of the mountains. Made new friends. Dated someone for a while, though it didn't work out. Built a life that was entirely mine. Sometimes late at night, I wondered what my family was doing. If Marlette had really changed. If my parents understood what they had lost. If they ever thought about me the way I sometimes thought about them. But those thoughts didn't hurt anymore. They were just curiosity, not longing. I had learned the most important lesson of my life from them, even though they never intended to teach it. I learned that I didn't owe anyone my suffering. That I could choose who got access to my life. That blood relation didn't mean unconditional tolerance of bad behavior. I learned that I was worth protecting, worth defending, worth choosing. And I learned that walking away from people who hurt you isn't weakness, it's strength. My family had called me strong and independent my whole life, usually as an excuse to give me less than they gave Marlette. But they were right about one thing. I was strong. Strong enough to survive without them. Strong enough to build a life on my own terms. Strong enough to say no and mean it. Strong enough to be happy. And I was. I really truly was. The car I had fought so hard to keep was still running perfectly. I drove it to work every day, windows down in summer, heat blasting in winter. My car. My life. My choice. Nobody was taking anything from me ever again. And that was exactly how I wanted it.